Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to 24 hours later. But here I am. This is Adrienne Marks, the me time helper, the me time guru, the me time expert, whatever you want to call me. I'm here for you right now and just want to talk to you about stuff and about the way things happen in life. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day and they had this issue. They'd been reading something and they got very upset about what was going on, and it changed their view of how they wanted their situation to unfold. Basically what had happened was they wanted to be going somewhere, and they'd read all these awful reviews and all sorts of things, and it totally changed their mind. And the first thing that happened with this person was they got very upset. And when we talked about it, I said, well, do you know that what you read was true? And they said, no, but there were all these experts and blah 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 blah. And I went, okay, but these are all just people. It's like seeing a movie and before you go to see the movie, you see a movie, you see the poster and you go, oh, I really want to go and see that. And then you read three different critiques about it, and you go, and one says it's awful, one says it's worse than awful, and one says it's, you know, why waste your money? And so you don't go. Well, that's so silly, because these are just people's opinions. And when we looked at this person's situation, and I said, well, maybe what you ought to be doing is sort of finding out for yourself. Actually look at it, you know, and really take it. So what it made me realize was that it's not the situation. And I know I've said this before, it's not the situation, it's how we deal with it. And it's very easy to quickly say, oh, it's not meant to be, and just not do it. But if you've got a goal, if you've got a dream, and some obstacles come up, then you know what? There's usually a way around them. You don't necessarily have to go up and struggle and go through. And sometimes the universe sends us stuff to deal with. And you just have to go, okay. And maybe what you should be saying is, that's the situation. And if I want to get round there, maybe I'll just go round. Maybe I won't go straight through. Why would I do that? If you can imagine an obstacle, and you're driving along the road and you see this big fence, and you've only got a little car, and the fence is made out of steel or something, and you think, I can't drive through that. How could I possibly do that? But if you actually think about it and you sort of start going around, you go left and you start going round, and you might suddenly see a gate. And then you could open the gate and drive through, and there might be this beautiful path with trees, and it's absolutely beautiful. And if you'd have gone through the gate, well, you can go through the gate, but you can't go through this thing. And sometimes obstacles are like that. We see them in the road, or we see them in the middle of the goal, and we think, oh, you know, I'm going back. I'm not going to go do this. But if you just stop and think and get some me time and actually think about it and think, well, what do I really want to do? I want to get the other side. I want to get into that house that's over the other side of the thing. People must get there somehow. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go all the way back? No, why would I do that? I've worked very hard to get this far. So why don't I just listen to the universe? And if the universe, you know, the old satnav says go left, and if I go left and I go up here and I start sort of taking it a bit easier and not taking it so seriously and not getting upset at the first little hurdle that comes up, maybe I can get there. It might take me a bit longer, but I'm still going to get to the same place. It's like the satnav, isn't it? Which I've talked about before. You just have to put it out there. You put the destination in. You tell the universe, this is what I want. And you say, all right, now I'm not quite sure how to get there, but I'm going to listen. And this is what me time is all about. Me time is all about listening to that inner voice that says, I want this so much. I'm going to do everything in my power, not to the detriment of my health, not to the detriment of my life, but I'm going to work at it sensibly. I'm going to put out massive action, but inspired massive action. And the only way you get inspired is by listening to what's going on. You can't get inspired by running around like a headless chicken, because you'll never hear anything. You have to be aware of what's going on. And the first step in any of this, when stuff gets bad, when life happens and it throws you off course, the first thing you have to do is you have to stop and you have to listen to what's going on inside. Because if you don't do that, then you'll just make it worse. If you've got a ball of string and it's all knotted up, if you want to unravel that, you can't just tear it, because that will make it worse, won't it? What you have to do is very gently you pick up one thread and then you move it so that it's round, and then you move it further round, and you move it further round. So gradually this tight ball of knotted string will start unraveling, and you have to do it really, really carefully. And life is like that. You put out a goal, you decide you want to do something, and you're going along, and it's like the string, and you're pulling it and you're doing it, and then suddenly, bugger me, what happens? You come across a knot, you come across an obstacle, and something happens. And instead of getting upset or cross or whatever happens, you have to sit back and go, okay, well, if that's really the situation, how can I go round it? I don't have to go across. I can go round it. Let me think how I could do that. And the only way you can do that is by going in and listening to what's going on in your heart. Your heart says, it really is, well, maybe you need some advice. Maybe you need some help. Maybe you need someone to say, I did that. And you know how I did it? I went round and I found the gate. And I can show you the gate. So come with me, I'll hold your hand and I'll take you round there. And that's what we need sometimes. We need a helping hand. Somebody I know has always said, if you need a helping hand, look at the end of look at your wrist. Well, that's all very well and very clever. But I still think that people do need help. Sometimes we work at something and it's very, very hard, but we can't, man wasn't meant to be on their own. We're meant to be in a group. We're sociable beings. We're not hermits. We're meant to be with other people. We're meant to be in communities. And unfortunately, the way life is today, a lot of people do spend their lives on their own. You go to work, you live with people, but sometimes you're on your own. You're on your own in your office, or you're on your own when you're doing something, and that's fine, but you can't be on your own all the time, and you need someone to be there. Somebody yesterday mentioned to me about hugs and said, I could give you a big hug. And I said, hugs are amazing. They are just the most wonderful thing. And they don't have to be, they're not necessarily sexual, they're not necessarily romantic, but hugging somebody is just the most awesome feeling. It's human contact, and we all need that. And the way to be more able to give is by listening to what's going on. You know, me time is an inside job. We've been saying this forever. When you love yourself, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself, warts and all. And when you're loving yourself, you start looking after yourself, you start respecting yourself, you start listening to yourself and hearing the good stuff. You know, words are incredibly, incredibly powerful. And sometimes you will use words for yourself that you wouldn't even use on a friend or a stranger. Your own worst critic. You're much too harsh on yourself. And so you need to start being gentle with yourself. You might wonder why people aren't nice to you. Maybe because you're not very nice to yourself. You have to be good to yourself. You do. I mean, have to. And I mean have to. Because that's the only way to feel good. Nobody can make you feel angry. Nobody can make you feel happy. It's all an inside job. When you start feeling happy, when you're happy with what's going on inside, you get happy with your life, and then it starts radiating out, and you draw this awesomeness, this wonderful things to you without seemingly to ask for it. The universe watches. You know, the universe knows if you're asking for one thing and you're believing something else. The universe isn't silly. The universe knows. If you say, I want lots of money, and inside you're thinking, I don't deserve money because I'm not worthy, or I'm a bad person, or money doesn't grow on trees, or whatever your story is about money that you grew up with. If the universe hears that, you're saying one thing, but your inner belief is something else, you know what? You'll never have money. If you feel like you'll never have a good relationship, you know what? You won't. Because what you put out there is what you receive. So you have to start working on loving yourself, because when you work on loving yourself, you start to believe that everything is possible. Anything is possible. You deserve only the very best. But it has to start with loving yourself, accepting yourself. And people, when I tell people that, they get very upset. How can I possibly accept myself? I've done this, I've done that. But everybody's done bad stuff. Everybody's been awful at some point in their life. Nobody, probably even Mother Teresa wasn't a total saint. She probably did bad things too, but inherently everybody is good. And you have to accept, because it's all of you, not just the good bits, not just your strengths, but your weaknesses as well. You have to embrace all those, because you're a whole person. You're not half a person. You need to love every single bit of you, warts and all, the lumps, the bumps, whoever you are, that's who you are. And when you start doing that, when you start accepting yourself and saying, I'm okay, I am worthy, I do deserve, you know what? All the good stuff starts happening. The opportunities, the love, the relationships, the people, everything starts coming to your life because you believe it. If you don't put out there, all this stuff is going to happen to me, you start thinking, I love myself. I deserve a good relationship. I deserve a lot of money. I deserve to have the best job possible. Because I'm talented, because I'm this, because I'm that. And you start telling yourself good stuff. And when you start telling yourself good stuff, the universe goes, oh, because once you do it, it's like any habit. Once you start telling yourself and you start doing this on a regular basis, you start believing it. And it's like miracles happening in your life. He said to me, how does electricity work? I'd say, I have no idea. But I know when I come into my house, if I touch a switch, the lights come on. If I touch a switch, or if I touch the power button on my laptop, the laptop powers up. I have no idea how it works. I don't need to know how it works. I just know that if I press this button, that's what will happen. And it's the same with miracles. It's the same with life. I know, I have no idea how it happens, but I know when you start loving yourself, when you start looking inside and really, really believing that you are worthy, really, really believing that you deserve, that you are worthy of whatever it is you desire, things happen. And it is miracles. Miracles happen all the time. I've seen it. I've seen it with other people. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in so many people's lives. But you've got to start believing, because you are. You're an amazing, awesome, wonderful person. I know that. And if you don't think you are, that's what you're putting out there. Even though you're writing down your affirmations every day and you're saying, I want more money, I want a better relationship, I want this, I want that, I want a better body, whatever you're asking for, the universe listens, and the universe says, well, you're saying one thing and you believe something else. You're not in harmony, you're not in sync with your belief patterns. So you've got to start working on yourself. You've got to start saying, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. All my bits. Every single bit of me. And the more you say that, and the more you start acting as if that's what you believe, more good stuff happens. And as the more stuff good happens, so you start saying it more, and so you start believing it more. And you're sitting there going, she's right. It does make sense, because you know that as soon as you start doing things and things start working, that's when the good stuff starts happening. And the more good stuff starts happening, and the more grateful you are for it. Oh, I forgot that bit. You've got to be grateful for what you've got in your life. If you've got a roof over your head, if you've got food on the table, if you've got a job, even though it might not be the best job ever, you've got a job. Be grateful for it. You start being grateful for stuff in your life. Do you know what? More good stuff will happen. And you'll find that maybe your job isn't so horrible. That maybe the people you work with aren't horrible. That maybe, the relationship you've got isn't that bad. Maybe it's lovely. It's just your perception. It's just you want something else. And maybe that's it, but maybe being grateful for what you've already got. Look around you and just think, oh my God, this is so amazing. The sunshine, the wonderful weather, the waking up and smelling the coffee. It just means being grateful. Enjoy the journey. It means being grateful. Look at the flowers. Enjoy the river or the sea or whatever you're near. Look at nature. Nature is awesome. Nature is absolutely amazing. And when the weather's warm and you can go out and you can go for walks and be with people, and laughter. Laughter is incredible. Connection, again, having connection with people. And just sitting and talking and laughing and loving and just being you. And people will be so grateful for you. And you can go to sleep and think, I've had a really good day today, and tomorrow's going to be even better. And it is. And if you think that all sounds wonderful and like pie in the sky and you've no idea how to start, connect with me. Have a mastery discovery session. Half an hour, we'll chat and we'll start talking about how we can help. And it'll be wonderful. And you'll find out little tricks and tools that you can use in every area of your life for the rest of your life. And very simple. It's not difficult. Connect with me now. It's www.adriennemarks.contact.html. Mastery discovery session. And it is what it is. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's discovering you. It's discovering the joy that you are, the person that you are, because it's there. I know it's there. And I want to help you discover it because it's awesome. It really is. And so I've given you a lot to think about today, driving and sunshine and all sorts of things. And I want to say to you, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And remember, if you need some help, I'm here. And talk to me. Just talk to me. Just connect with me and say thank you. I'm just so glad to be here. And have some me time, because that's the way. You know, that's the only way. That's the only way to live, to love, and to be. I'm wishing you lots and lots of love, lots of me time. Adrienne Marks, metime.com. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Mwah. Bye-bye.